Mirrors? They're just glass with a reflection, right? They can't think, they can't observe. But what if there's someone behind that glass? Someone who already knows how you move. Someone who's just waiting for you to take a step in the wrong direction. My story began a month ago, and if you watch it till the end, you'll stop looking in mirrors yourself. I bought this mirror by accident. It was old with a dark wooden frame and seemed perfect for my hallway. A strange man sold it to me at a flea market. I asked him why it was so cheap. He just shrugged and said, "The main thing, don't look into it after midnight." I smirked. Typical biker with his mystical stories. But after hanging it at home, I felt an odd tension, as if someone was watching, although it should have been me. On the third day, I noticed something strange. When I turned my head, my reflection slightly delayed. The difference was just a fraction of a second. But I noticed it, then blinking. I didn't blink, but in the mirror, yes. I checked. I stood still. My reflection moved just like I did, until I froze. I stood there for 10 seconds, and then my reflection twitched and smiled. I didn't do that. The real nightmare began a week later. At midnight, I passed by the mirror and noticed it had become dim, and my reflection stood closer to the glass than I did. It was reaching out to me. I turned off the light, but I heard a knock. It came from the mirror. I couldn't figure out what it was. The next morning, I covered it with a blanket, but the sounds didn't stop, rustling, as if someone was running fingers over the glass. Sometimes I heard it breathing. I decided to throw the mirror away, but when I brought it to the elevator, it didn't break. The frame cracked, but the mirror stayed intact. I tried to look at my reflection, but it wasn't there. There was only emptiness in the mirror. I began searching for information. On forums, people talked about mirror doppelgangers, beings that live on the other side of the glass. They say that if your reflection starts living its own life, it means you're no longer you. I invited a friend over. We both stood in front of the mirror and looked at it. He suddenly said, "Hey, why did you blink in the mirror, but not now?" I froze. He noticed it too. We both did. That night, I woke up to the sound of glass. I went to the hallway. The mirror was open. The frame was empty. The glass seemed to have gone inside. I leaned over, and in the mirror I saw my apartment, but without me, I was in the mirror. I was looking at an empty room, and then I saw him. He was looking at me, smiled, and turned to leave my apartment. Since then, I haven't returned home. I don't know who's living in my apartment now. Sometimes I see him in reflections, wearing my clothes, acting like me. But if you look closely, he's a bit faster, a bit more confident, and a bit more emotional. If you're watching this video, please check your reflection. Maybe you're no longer you. Subscribe and like if you want to hear more mystical stories. Leave a comment if you've ever noticed something strange in the mirror. The mirror's mystery. Don't look if you don't want to become part of this story. When I bought the old mirror, I had no idea it would start watching me. But when at night the reflection began to change and strange noises filled the house, I realized it wasn't just glass. If you don't believe in paranormal phenomena, get ready to change your mind. Have you ever noticed something strange in the mirror? Sometimes it can be far more sinister than it seems. In my story, I faced something that shouldn't exist. Now for me, a mirror is not just glass. It's a portal to another world. What happens if you look into it? And who or what will look back at you? Subscribe and like if you want to hear more mystical stories. Leave a comment if you've ever noticed something strange in the mirror.